Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all the sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Well, here we are. It's the Mandalorian Season 3 finale, and we are ready to break this one down. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe. Of course, with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. We got a special guest this week. Hunter's back to join us again, finally.
Finally.
Yeah, it's been over a year, maybe.
I mean, what's happened since the last time you've been on this show? Andor? Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
I mean, big things.
So, yeah, I haven't been on here to talk about Andor.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe we do another episode on that then. So I have a lot of opinions on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
back talking about Mandalorian. Season 3. What a different take, I guess.
It was
Hey, the
different.
finale was good.
It was different. This season was very different from the last two. One, I am of the opinion that I'm happier that it had to do more with the Mandalorian storyline. Whether it was about Din himself, at least it stuck with Mandalorians. So I was kind of digging that.
Wait a minute.
I felt that kept it relevant.
Sure, but you didn't like that it wasn't about him. Sometimes.
Yeah, it was Bo-Katan season, which I no problem with, but it's just weird how much they sideline the main character.
But like I said, like for me, at least it stayed relevant.
Yeah.
Like I think Bo-Katan, especially with him like later on pledging like allegiance to her, right? Like that kept it relevant. We're not doing Luke Skywalker. We're not doing Boba Fett. We're not doing like Ahsoka Tano. Like I love all those things, but I felt like the first two seasons did more of those things than talk about Din Djarin.
Season 2 for sure. I mean, season 2 just felt like they were trying to make the Avengers, and
Yes.
they kind of did.
Yeah, kind of did.
And now they're doing a movie to finish it all up. So yeah, they definitely did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're told they're doing a movie. Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's still years down the line, so we'll probably get more seasons first of all the shows, and then eventually it'll be this huge thing against Thrawn, hopefully, and we'll get Heir to the Empire Disney edition.
Which we got in the trailer for Ahsoka.
Wow, that sounds horrible. Oh my god.
I mean, make Ahsoka in Luke Skywalker's spot. Din is in like Lando's spot. I don't know. I they could maybe do it.
I don't know. When I saw the Ahsoka trailer and heard that Heir to the Empire line, I rolled my eyes. I personally
Really?
rolled my eyes.
I got excited.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I that's still like my favorite story in Star Wars. So
I'm with you.
Even if it's a C+ version of it, I'll be excited because it's better than what they would do without it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway, so what we're here to talk about, we're going to talk about season 3 as a whole, but our main focus here is season 3, episode 8, chapter 24, The Return. God, I never get used to saying those long ass titles.
Right. They are super long.
But we get the ultimate battle on Mandalore, right? Like this is what this season's been leading up to. What you guys think of this? Like this, I mean, for me, this was everything I wanted to see when we were talking about Mandalorians in live action.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say finally we have live action Clone Wars. Like Filoni's done all this for us to get to that one shot with Bo-Katan, the armor, all the Mandalorians flying into the Empire. And that was awesome. I like that a lot. I feel like this felt more of an epic scale battle than we've seen in Mandalorian before, where it's kind of just been they're in a town and there's like 12 people.
Right.
So I liked how this felt much larger scale. I did think it seemed a little rushed though. Like, oh, we're losing, and then bam, they're just easily able to win.
Well, there's a lot
I
of
felt-
reinforcements.
Yeah, but it seemed like the Empire had all of the ships and stuff, the interceptors, the bombers, and they just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, we never did see where they went in the end. Those TIE
I have a
interceptors.
question about this.
Okay, I have an answer.
They have interceptors and bombers.
Yep.
You have a cruiser. Why are you worried about interceptors and bombers?
Because the cruiser got easily destroyed.
Yeah, because there was one guy on it.
Yeah, and then where did the ships go? The ships were fine. Why would the ships not come down and just rain hell on the Mandalorians? It seemed like the Empire had like way, way more troops, and then the second the reinforcements show up, it's just they're even.
Well, I
It's a small nitpick. It seemed
that
weird
I think
that
is to show that Mandalorians are superior. So you have some troopers and jetpacks and Beskar, so what?
Right.
yeah.
Mandalorians are superior. So like the ground combat, I was fine with. It was the fact that you have a cruiser and you have a relatively small squadron of bombers and interceptors coming to destroy this cruiser. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this cruiser can't handle that? I thought we were meant to believe that these cruisers were badass.
That's fair. I feel like this happened in Rebels too, where they really try to hype up the TIE fighters and make them seem way stronger than what we saw in like the original trilogy. How like Thrawn had the whole defenders and how those were like super powerful.
Right. The Defender made sense. Like, it had shields.
Exactly.
It had, like,
Yeah, but even in this, it was like, oh, one TIE fighter bomber shows up and it can take out a cruiser. Like, I feel like they're really trying to be like, oh, the Empire is so incredibly powerful. But they kind of just disappeared. I wanted a little bit more of the space battle. It would have been cool if the Space Wolves, or not Space Wolf, that's Warhammer. What were their names?
well, Axe Wolves.
Axe
was the guy-
Wolves.
Axe Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they actually had like a space battle while like our group of people had the ground battle, I think that would have been cool. But I still liked it. It's a small nitpick. I wanted space battle.
So is that a thing too? Like, you can control your ship by just fingering the arms of your chair?
I was wondering that because yeah, he was like shooting stuff. I'm like, isn't that a whole position? I know this isn't Star Trek where it's like every single thing, but it was still cool. It was cool. I mean, he just came
cool.
down. It was hilarious. I started laughing when he was like, all right, I'm pretty much crashing into you guys. And they gave him like a 10-second timer before it happened.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. I liked Grogu just spitting in Kanan's face, doing what he did, but, easily.
But not dying?
Yeah.
But not dying. Exactly.
Yeah. Which I get. Like, the whole Kanan was like on top of the thing, but I thought it was cool. I mean, I liked it a lot.
Oh, wow. We jumped right to
Yep.
the end.
Yep. Absolutely.
I never go in order.
We do that a lot.
Wherever my mind goes.
It's typical here. It's typical here.
Yeah.
So, when I got to say, Doug, one thing we talked about last week was when Axe took off. We're like, what the hell, is he going to fly all the way to the ship?
Yeah. And apparently,
Like, okay, these things can't chase down the pterodactyl because they run out of fuel, but this guy can leave atmosphere and fly all the way to the ship.
Yeah.
Like,
what the hell? I thought the same thing. It was like, really? You're doing that? But okay, it's all fantasy, you know. I
It was
get
a really
Fantasy.
cool shot.
It was a cool shot. It was awesome. I'm
And I
not
like
going to
that it
argue
kind of
that.
redeemed him a bit.
Yeah,
Like, we were kind of like, oh, this guy's an ass. And then he actually does, like, oh, yep, Bo-Katan won. So now he's with her. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean that holds true for all of them, you know.
Yeah.
The Armorer, Axe Wolves, yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
And I like that the title kind of made us think, oh, yep, they're betraying each other. Like, oh, someone's going to stab them in the back. But then it ended up being, nope, Mandalorians are all about honor. And that's what we've learned through the entire series.
Right.
yeah, I kind of saw the title, The Return, and I kind of thought, wow, they're really going to bring Thrawn back in the last season?
So did I. I thought the same thing.
Man, I really wanted it. Yeah. The second I saw the title pop up, I'm like, okay, it's happening. Like, they're setting it up perfectly. He's going to come in and kill everyone besides Din, and then maybe Din too, and then boom, leave.
Well, throughout this season, Doug has been predicting Thrawn's return.
I think a lot of people were. I mean, the fact
And-
that we got the name drop and we got Pelion, like,
And then I
Right.
saw the return. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Doug's got it.
Not this time.
Not this time.
maybe
All
that's where the ships went. They went to go help Thrawn out. That's where they went.
It could be. Could be. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I want to talk about another thing. Moff Gideon's clones.
Yeah.
He seemed pretty convinced that he had figured out the whole clones with the Force thing.
Right.
What do you guys make of that? Like, this is something that in literature, stuff like that, like it's kind of been a non-starter. Other than really DBU, it ended up happening.
Right.
Particularly Heir to the Empire, right?
I am not a fan.
Not-
I get that we want to forget the sequels exist to an extent, but just showing how hard it was to clone Palpatine, and Gideon just being able to make perfect clones that somehow have the Force. I get that. Oh yeah, they destroyed it really easily. He did the classic push one button and everything explodes. But I don't know. Felt a little off.
I'm not so sure
Well-
that they were going to be the perfect clones that Gideon was claiming they were at this point, you know, with the Force. I'm not so sure that he perfected it, you know?
True. We just have he seemed very confident, and he's always seemed like he was like one step ahead.
Right.
Before Luke Skywalker came and just killed everyone. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could be right. I mean, they weren't technically done, or else they'd be being used. And then we have that theory going around, which I don't like. That the one that died was a clone, and the real one's still out there because he didn't have a mustache or something. I don't know.
Oh, Gideon?
Yeah, have you not been seeing that around?
No, I haven't really been paying attention to the rumors now.
Did Gideon ever have a mustache?
Yeah, so it's like he had a mustache in season 1 and
Right.
2, and then we saw him without 1 and 3, but the clones had one or something. There's a theory that Gideon's not dead. I hope he is. I think we've had him fake out, die, or be captured twice now, or 3 times now, and I'm ready for a different villain.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I love the actor, obviously. Like, he's great,
Oh,
but
He did fantastic.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's just like, okay, let's do something else now. So it doesn't get repetitive.
Well, I thought the suit, right? I thought the suit was a little much.
It was a bit much.
Yeah.
It-
I get what they were going for, but he never seemed like a fighter type. I know he tried fighting Din in season 2, but he seemed more like a tactician than that, and it seemed weird for him to have like a giant Vader power armor thing.
That's not. I love what you just said there, Hunter, because that suit was clearly, like motor assisted for, giving him extra strength and stuff, and it's like that's his. What did he call it? The new Death Trooper suit or something.
Oh, Dark Trooper.
Dark Trooper.
It was like version 3 or version 2. Yeah.
Right. So that was cool, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like if he had that, why wouldn't all of the troopers that were fighting for him have these suits? You know what I mean?
Yeah, if they have that much access to Beskar,
right,
and they were able to make that many Dark Troopers before, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely did seem like a prototype, though. Like, it wasn't complete. I feel like the way he was moving sometimes was a bit clunky. So maybe that was just like, hey, this is the one we got, and then he took it.
Well, if that's the one and only prototype, he's being kind of cavalier with it, you know?
Which I think that makes sense for his character.
Yeah, I suppose.
I felt like they were trying too hard to channel Vader here.
Oh,
Because-
down to the, no, I'll take care of him myself.
Yeah, I'll deal with it myself. Like, that was like, I'm like, you're trying too hard to have this be Vader
Right.
Yeah.
in this moment. Like, it was. Yeah, I felt like they overdid it with Gideon and the Dark Trooper armor.
I think it would have been better if the final boss was the Praetorian Guards. Because I think us seeing them kill Pav Vizsla, right? I'm so bad with names.
Paz
Vizsla, yeah.
Paz Vizsla, yeah. Seeing like that's like, oh man, these guys are like the real deal, and we saw them in The Last Jedi, of course. So I think it would have been cooler if we got to see them like really fight against them and it get brutal instead of Grogu laughing and jumping around and dodging their stuff. Which I thought was funny. I mean, it made me laugh. I thought this episode was actually very funny, and the season has done well to be funnier than the previous ones.
do that. The Praetorian Guard thing is still. Ugh. For some reason, they came on screen again, and I'm like, this is just not working for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just like, why?
It's a Snoke thing. Snoke
It's a Snoke thing.
And
I get it,
anything
but-
attached to Snoke. Well, I like that it was they were such a precious resource that Gideon had to be like, I need 3 of them. Like, send me 3. And that was like a big ask. I kind of like that. But I think it would be cool if they did a nod to, I forget what Rook's people are called. Nogri.
Nogri, yeah.
Okay.
If they did like Nogri guards came in, I think that'd be cool because that would also allude to like Thrawn's whole thing.
Better.
That makes sense why they're so strong.
Interesting.
I just, for some reason, like the Praetorian Guards, it just seemed like a big reach to try to connect the, try to make that connective tissue from Return of the Jedi on. Just like, I feel like it's too early. It's too early to have Praetorian Guards just like go protecting Gideon. Really, like this guy just got captured. Resources had to be used to get him out. They never explained that by Mandalorian somehow. Like, I don't know, that
Yeah,
whole thing was a mess.
it is.
I guess the explanation is that his troopers on Mandalore had access to Mandalorian tech, right? Like, I guess that's the explanation, but I just don't see how he would be able to convince this council, like, hey, I'm the guy that's set to lead right now. Like, dude, you just got captured. All your assets have just got wrapped up here or there, captured, killed on Coruscant, with Pershing and things like, why are you the guy to lead us right now that you deserve an elite guard? It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I almost wish we got to see more of the Imperial Council through the season, so we got to see the character dynamics more. Because we really didn't know, like where is Gideon standing in this council? Is he the leader besides Thrawn, or is everyone on the same level? We didn't really get a good vibe for that, I guess.
So I've got to say, after seeing this episode, is when I finally come to the place where I'm like, yeah, we probably could have done without the Lizzo Jack Black episode and gotten into more stuff like that. Okay. I didn't mind that episode when it aired, but it was like, after seeing this, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could have put in there to back up everything we just saw, to set it up.
I think this season being 8 episodes was a horrible idea if they wanted to do not filler episodes, but the one-off episodes to keep Star Wars fun and stuff. It just, like, make it 12 episodes, and then those episodes we'd be okay, fun little weird episode of them doing some investigation stuff.
Right.
But just more, I don't know. I feel like they do so well at ending the seasons. Like, the last 2 episodes are always really good, but it just feels the pacing's all over the place. We never have an idea of what the plot actually is till the very end. And I think season 1 did it pretty well, but I think 2 and 3 have done it horribly.
Well, I think this runs into the whole budget thing, right? Like, look, you can't spend the same amount of money every episode.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of
TV,
stuff they
right?
can do is, I don't know. I don't make TV shows. It does seem like they waste their budget on certain stuff though. Like, oh, the crazy robotic thing that captured Din in like the 2nd episode, and like Grogu and Bo-Katan had to go rescue him. Like, how much money do you think they put into just that thing's design when it could have been like anything? Because we never found out, oh, what was it doing with his blood? Like, that was another plot line that just died out. Because that was on Mandalore. So is that like for the Empire? Are they going to clone Din now? We don't know. It just felt like they kept dropping plot lines.
There is some of that.
I feel like there's a lot of that. There's a lot of dropping plot lines.
Yeah.
Which this season more than the other 2 by far. Like, it seemed like they didn't know where they wanted to go.
I think it's systemic right now because the Bad Batch did that a lot too.
Yes. It's a true statement.
So there's a lot of this, like, try to establish something and then just like let it go and then come back to and do what you wanted to do all along, but leave all this other stuff that you established. Like, yeah, there's a lot of just putting out different plot points and letting it go. Hunter makes a great point there.
Yeah.
They just let it die.
I think that's what made this season feel so weak to me, because it really felt like they didn't have any direction. It felt like they would try to do something and then, oh, let's not do that because someone else higher up said no. And they're like, okay, let's try to do this thing. Nope. Let's try to do this thing. Nope.
There's probably a lot more of that than we realize.
Yeah, which I mean, I heard the whole, I don't know if it's true, but the rumors about Favreau like almost walking, right?
Right.
And if that's true, then oof, that's I don't know how they don't trust him and Filoni at this point. It's like everything they do, the fans worship. So
I don't put a lot of stock in that. Like, I mean, we've been hearing Kathleen Kennedy's on her way out for 5 years now. So
Yeah.
I don't put a lot of stock in these rumors that so and so almost walked. There's this battle between so and so.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Star Wars fandom now is sensationalism, and it's just about like, hey, we don't like this person. We're going to say this. So
Then it gets a bunch of clicks. Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough.
Exactly. Like,
I don't even know what she does at this point, though.
She announces movies that never happen.
Hey,
Right.
there you go.
Like, I don't know what she does.
She shows up at Celebration, announces a bunch of shit, and just never comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Like, there's already talks that this Rey movie is not a thing.
Oh, really? I thought it was going to be a TV show, like a Jedi Order.
No.
It's a movie?
It's supposed to be a movie,
It's a
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's like, you look around, it's like, oh, so and so at Lucasfilm, this is the first they heard of it, and the Celebration announcement came as a surprise, and she did this just to stop Bob Iger from ousting her. Blah blah blah. So I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in this because it's all a lot of clickbaity stuff. But at the same time, he announced 8 movies last time. All of those seem to be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
He
of them.
announced 3 more, and none of those are the first 8. You know, Taika Waititi's only contribution to Star Wars right now seems to be IG. Like, IG-12, IG-11. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did announce like 8 things. And I'm really surprised we saw nothing on Acolyte. Now I'm wondering if that's even going to come out. Because, like...
No, they did.
Oh, it's
The
going to come out.
Celebration, They had some things on Acolyte.
Yeah, that's they were interviewing the cast, and it's that's totally happening.
I saw that, but like there was no trailer, and I feel like that's been in the works for years now.
That's fair.
Right.
It's just kind of weird how slow it's moving. But hey, we got Ahsoka coming out. That's all I care about. I don't care about literally anything else. So
Nice.
I'm with you there.
at least for the future projects, we have Jedi Survivor coming out the 28th. I'm excited for that, and then Ahsoka. That's good.
Yeah. Now, this ending. Back to the Mandalorian.
Back
Of
to the
course.
Mandalorian, yes.
Did this feel like, hey, we could leave this here?
Yes,
It did.
I'd be fine with it. I thought it was a solid ending. It's him and his son officially just chilling out at their home, being bounty hunters. Like, leave it for a couple years, come back, bring them in for the Avengers level threat. Yeah, it almost felt like they didn't know if they were being greenlit for another season, but I thought we knew that they already were for like 3 more.
Are they?
I thought originally it was like, yeah, Mandalorian's going to have like 6 seasons.
I don't
But
recall hearing
I'm
the
not sure.
number, but I was definitely assuming that it was going to be more than 3. I do agree this felt like a, let's wrap everything up kind of thing here. It also felt to me like it could be the launching pad for like some sort of Mandalorians on Mandalore show, and also setting up for what you want, Joe, a show about the Mandalorian.
We'll never get that.
No, it's not going to be a thing. I think season 3 was the closest we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think the adventures of Din Djarin and Din Grogu are going to be that in a nutshell?
No.
Okay.
I think season 1 we got the Mandalorian. That was about him. He was doing his bounty hunting stuff most of the season. It was very episodic, but I thought they did it best. But then, yeah, after that, it's just been, okay, he has no character to explore. Like, we saw his past, and everything besides that, he's just been a zealot. And I don't know, he doesn't really have a personality at all. So I don't know what they can do without having other characters lead, and they're really scared to have Grogu become a person because of merchandise.
Oh, absolutely. He is way too cute as is in order to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're getting better. Like, he's becoming much more, like, able to actually do stuff, right?
Right.
Which I thought was cool this season.
Except for when he's walking in the pilot's bar at the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
his
was
feet,
terrible.
his feet drove me a little crazy.
That was,
It was just straight up like feet, like.
Yeah. He had like the Parkinson legs. Like, it was.
God. Parkinson.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That took a turn. That took a turn.
Yeah. It's all right though. It's good. I mean, I get it. But yeah, there was a couple times I felt
Budget definitely ran out on the legs.
right.
Yeah.
Right. I really did like all the stuff that Grogu was doing to participate in the battle and stuff. There was a couple times where it felt a little awkward, but overall, I enjoyed it.
So overall, I know I feel like we are hating on the season a lot. I think it's more so just disappointment because of season 2 ended in such a crazy way. I think this is the last, maybe it is, the last negative thing I'll say. They did my least favorite thing out of any, like, stereotype of TV shows. They had Din completely captured, and they sent 2 troopers to escort him to a prison cell to interrogate him for some reason. And he was easily able to break out. I hate when shows do that. It's like, oh yeah, we have the guy completely captured. We have so many people. We could just kill him right now. Because what information could he really have? All the Mandalorians are there.
I think that's a.
Oh yeah, that was the debriefing, right?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, we'll go interrogate him.
No. Specifically, they said debriefing. This was part of Joe's argument last week. So, yeah, take him to debriefing, which was weird.
Weird.
Again, another plot point.
Yeah.
Loose thread, not
That almost seems like
connected.
he's like a sleeper agent.
That was my thought.
That would have been wild. I was
Din
I was
was-
totally down for them to kill Din this episode.
Oh, wow.
I was. That would have been cool.
It would have been cool, he says.
Yeah.
The
Grogu
main
just-
character.
Grogu
Pop,
just
pop.
walks up and just starts force choking everyone.
Oh, goes dark,
This is
huh?
why I don't write Star Wars.
Yeah, no doubt. You realize your aunt would be devastated.
Grogu would still be fine.
I don't know. You were kind of advocating for Din to get murdered and Grogu to fall to the dark side.
Right.
That's
That's what I'm
Yeah, why
saying.
not?
like what you were calling for right there.
Make it interesting. Make me excited. I feel like this. It felt like it played it so safe this episode.
Like he turns around with a tear falling down his cheek and yellow eyes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he says no. He actually says it instead of the robot.
Right.
And he starts force choking everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I want to talk about the robot for a second.
Okay.
This idea that, like, okay, we're finally going to make Grogu talk and we're going to have him say yes, 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 or no, no, no. I'm sorry. 50 years old.
Yeah.
How long does it take to talk? This species, we know why we don't see many of them, because this species is literally set up to fail.
Right?
They're like
I mean-
koalas.
Can't talk, can't walk, can't move. Like 50 years. 50 years. You are food. Okay?
One
Like,
would
just-
think.
Unless every single one of them is force sensitive, which I doubt.
Well, we've only seen 3, and they've all been force sensitive.
And extremely powerful.
Yeah, but that's the 3 that were.
Yeah.
The rest of them are dead.
Maybe.
And they tried to do the whole. They did, again, another thing they didn't really go on more about him being like emotionally stunted because of his trauma, and then him coming out of it through training with Luke. That was kind of a plot line.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, since training with Luke, he's definitely more of a person. But yeah, he can't talk, or he kind of talked in like maybe a different language, but really just like babbling. When they said this is the way, and then he did that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I don't know. I liked Grogu a lot more this season, but he's still this. It's the merchandise.
It's merchandise. It's
It's
all
It's
it
the
is.
merchandise. They can't
Totally
have him talk.
merchandise.
This is so painful.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. Like, 50 years. That's the part that gets me the most.
yeah.
Like, you could have easily just said at 20.
Or even less. Like he was a infant during Order 66.
Right, so he's like 5. Yeah. Or wait, no.
Oh, I guess that would have still been like 20 something years, huh?
20.
Yeah. 20
Okay,
something years.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I said right.
Yeah.
I don't know. 50 years, can't talk, can barely walk.
Cannot walk. What do
I
you
was going to
mean?
say. Yeah.
I think the robot stuff did land for me comedy wise.
Oh, it landed comedy-wise.
I didn't
Comedy-wise.
hate it at all. It just seeing him walk around though was so funny, and somehow he got to where Din was with the 2 troopers. That felt a little convenient.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but hey, it's the dad and son have to reunite. You know what? I will start saying some good stuff. The whole John Wick, like going through the force field scene stuff was awesome.
That was awesome.
Like him slowly taking weapons and like that felt so inspired by like John Wick action scenes.
Hey, what did I say
And
last week?
I'll bring that up. Like, the brutality in this episode, I was like, holy crap, I can't believe
Yeah.
they went there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, with everything they've done in the Bad Batch with the stunning and all this stuff, the absolute brutality in this episode was like, whoa.
Yeah, he's like
Like-
stabbing him in the throat with knives and
Yes,
Yep.
stuff. I'm like,
exactly.
yes.
He broke a dude's neck.
Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it was awesome.
I'm so sick of it being like, oh, stun them for some reason.
No,
like,
you
what do you...
signed up for Mandalorians, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
I
But
like
at the
it.
same time, I'm like, wow, with everything they've done in like sugarcoating the violence, right? With especially the Bad Batch, the stunning still drives me nuts.
The Bad Batch is the main one. Yeah.
I haven't seen season 2 yet, but I did hear it ended and
How
was good
dare you.
ending. Yes. Sad
It was okay.
ending. It was okay.
It's okay.
It was very open ended, like very, very open.
Okay.
Sad, sure,
Yep.
but without saying too much.
Right.
Yeah, I know someone dies, but I don't know who it is.
Okay.
So
Yeah, someone dies.
yeah, I will watch it. It's just Yeah, yeah. No comment. No comment. What did you guys think about Bo-Katan losing in a 1v1 with Gideon?
I don't know.
And the whole dark saber being crushed.
The dark saber being crushed, I felt was for the way they led up to it, I thought it was ridiculous. Like Gideon wants it. Hand over the dark saber. Like he wants this dark saber for some reason. And then he just destroys it and says, "Oh yeah, you're nothing without your trinkets." I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
Why did you want this?
So Gideon to me seems like a guy that's like obsessed with Mandalorian culture,
Totally. Look at the
but
suit he made.
needs to act like he's better than it. Like he looks down on it, but it's kind of like if you're looking down on them, why do you know every single thing about them and like you want what they have?
Right, as you're
him
standing
crushing,
there
him crushing the Darksaber to me felt very much like a toddler being like, "Oh, if I can't play with that toy, you can't either," and breaking it.
That's fair.
Exactly.
It felt like he was like having a toddler rage.
I really wish it wasn't like 45 seconds after him wanting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that to me was very odd.
Yeah. I like that the fact that it's destroyed means that the whole curse is gone, right? Because that's always been the whole like, oh, there's a curse on Mandalore because of the Darksaber. It's like as long as someone has it, they'll constantly be trying to fight the
But
person
is
to
it
get
truly
it.
destroyed?
I mean, the Kyber crystal's probably fine, right?
Yeah, that's my point. Like, is
If
the
it
crystal
has
fine?
one,
Can they rebuild the hilt? Like,
maybe.
is the Darksaber truly destroyed? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not so
like-
sure.
Like, Luke's lightsaber went through hell. Like,
True, yeah.
Yeah, literally
Well,
split.
Anakin's lightsaber.
The Youngling Slayer.
Yeah, like literally, like apparently fell to space or whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's a story for another time
yeah,
that we'll never get.
yeah, and then gets split in half and like gets a force band-aid and it's good.
Right. Leather strap. No problem.
That's all you need. Yeah, I actually don't know. So the Darksaber does have a Kyber crystal?
Yes.
Okay. It's just a black Kyber crystal and it's the only one, or
Well, there's a lot to Kyber crystal lore we don't understand.
I know, well, the whole like bleeding them out, like is that a weird mix? I don't know. I mean, it's super old, so it could have just been like, oh yeah, back then we had those kinds. Now they're gone.
Because I mean, we're about to get more into Kyber crystal lore, right? With Ahsoka,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the orange.
yeah,
Yeah.
orange blades.
Yes.
yeah. I'm a fan.
You're a fan.
I'm with you.
I'm a fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, when they do new stuff, I'm at least excited for it, and I like that Filoni's response about it was like, "Oh, originally when we saw Darth Vader, a lot of times it looked orange, not as orange, but still."
Well, on the
And he's like-
poster for sure.
Yeah, and he was like, "It's alluding to these people aren't maybe who you expect them to be," which makes me think,
I like
okay,
this idea of they're teetering on that edge
mm-hmm,
to where like because what is it, the crystal's bleeding, right? Like that's
Yeah.
why it turns red. So like they're teetering on the edge, the crystal's just starting to bleed, but they're not going all the way, so it's not going full red. This is going to be the closest, and I say this for people who really want this like gray Jedi thing to happen.
Uh-oh.
This is the closest thing you're going to get to it.
I was thinking Dark Jedi. The people who they use the dark side, they use the light side, but they don't follow any of the creeds.
I think that walks right along with the gray Jedi. Because Dark Jedi was what they were called before they were Sith.
Oh, was it? I thought I'm thinking of the Darth Bane books. I remember there being a Dark Jedi, and Bane goes and meets him, and Zana meets him, and they're like, "We're Sith." He's like, "I don't care about any of that. I just have these cool artifacts, and use the Force to get what I want."
Yeah, he wasn't really a Dark Jedi though. Like, he was like a Jedi, a fallen Jedi, a Jedi out for his own.
Yeah.
He wasn't either side. He didn't use the dark side really.
No,
No.
it's been a while, but okay.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he didn't really
Yeah.
use the dark side.
Well, I was sad because I thought it was Jorah Sabayoth at first, the older guy
Right.
in the trailer, but it's Balin.
Yeah.
So new character. Hey, okay, I'm down.
I got a feeling that, since they're using the term heir to the empire and stuff, this is going to be some of these characters are going to be analogs for those characters from those books. But, not necessarily so on the nose.
Yeah, I was thinking the white or silver hair girl could be the new Mara Jade, or based off of Mara Jade, even though it's not red hair. Just the whole like Emperor's hand stuff they could introduce, and that's why they have orange blades, maybe. Could be cool.
Well, Mara Jade had a red blade to begin with, didn't she?
For some reason I thought it was purple.
I was
But I
gonna
think
say,
she made it
I don't
later
remember.
on.
Yeah, I think she had a red blade to begin with.
Oh.
It
Well, just
became-
the whole character, like the concept of the Emperor's hand. It could be, oh, that's who these people are. And the
I
whole
think the
project
concept that
necromancy.
Emperor's hand at this point is your Inquisitor.
Yeah.
They've
There is
kind of,
that. Yeah.
yeah, they kind of spit on all that old stuff.
Yeah, there's so many ways they can take it. It's really sometimes it's so hard remembering what's canon.
All the old stuff has definitely been twisted and
Like, do you think they'll talk about Moraband?
Maybe.
maybe.
I'm just being an ass.
Yeah.
That one still pisses me off.
Yeah, they just switched it to Korriban. It's like, why? Just
Right.
it's so close.
that was a George thing though.
I
Oh.
know. Still, he started it.
Yes.
So have you guys heard, this is going completely off of Mandalorian, but the whole,
good
they
point.
mentioned Project Necromancy. And did you guys ever read that weird book, Death Troopers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What set that up as a weird horror movie? I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I don't think they'll do Death Troopers.
No.
Oh.
No.
It was I liked it when I was younger, but it was definitely like, this does not feel like Star Wars. This is just because The Walking Dead got big and they wrote this.
I think you're right there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Was Death
all.
Troopers that late? No.
What is
It was not. It was not Walking Dead. It was before Walking Dead.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. Here goes all the keyboards.
Isn't
Oh
that
yeah,
funny?
just smashing. I'm just curious. 2009. When did Walking Dead come out?
To 2010.
Oh, so close.
Ah.
Pretty sure.
Walking Dead Space. Well, what about the comics?
Oh.
The comics
Well-
of The Walking Dead were out before that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well before that.
I remember there being the sequel with the Sith one. Actually, I enjoyed them for what they were.
I mean, I think Dave Filoni already paid homage to Death Troopers in a way. He did that whole Geonosian episode with the zombie
yeah,
Geonosians.
Yeah,
that did happen.
that did happen.
Yeah. I don't see him doing it twice.
Yeah, probably not. It was just weird because they said necromancy, and it's obviously like, okay, this is probably for Palpatine, but
I think it's just this whole acolyte and the dark side things. I think that's what necromancy has to deal with.
okay. I was thinking like bringing people back from the dead because
That would make sense.
It would make
just because
sense.
of D&D.
It makes sense, but I think they're just using necromancy as dark.
Fair.
Because I don't see them doing it. Like, if they do it, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it. I honestly like a Star Wars horror movie sounds really fun.
Like, I'll be curious.
Yeah.
I will
I'll
say
probably
this.
feel the same as I did after that book,
I was,
but
I was
I'm curious.
I was kind of excited for the Lego horror thing they did, and that was
The Halloween thing?
Yeah, that was not so great.
Not great.
Oh.
But we can't have detours.
Nope.
Hey,
Never.
that's
Maybe we'll
better.
get something in Visions. Season 2 of Visions. Maybe they'll do a cool horror thing.
That'd be a great place for it, honestly.
Get like Junji Ito to do some cool designs.
See, they're not doing that, though. Everything's Ireland and England and Belgium and
Wallace and Gromit in Star Wars, or Star Wars and Wallace and
a
Gromit.
lot of that. Yeah, this season of Visions is going to be very different from what we saw the first season.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't heard much about it. I just heard that season 2
Did
is
you see the
pretty
trailer?
good. No.
Oh, jeez, dude.
I saw so Star Wars Celebration was going on, and I watched like every interview, but I do feel like I missed trailers somehow. But I'll watch it after this then.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's looking very different.
Okay, in a good way.
No.
No.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for anime, no, but if you're looking for animation
you're
of all sorts, we'll see.
Yeah, if you're looking for that Japanese style, it's gone.
Well, I think it's if they're gonna do a bunch of seasons, I think it'd be cool if they just explore the world's animation styles. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Japanese is just better.
Well, if you're going to do horror, for sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be so cool.
If you're going to do horror, Japanese animations, where's that?
But somehow we got here.
Yeah.
What? So we all agree that season 3 is worst, right? The worst season.
You sound like you hate Star Wars. Just throwing it
no,
out there.
You don't.
I don't.
You don't like season 2 because all the cameos.
Correct.
Okay.
So for me, season 3 is better than season 2 because I felt like it stayed on subject. It's stuck with Mandalore. So if we're gonna have a story, The Mandalorian, at least it was about Mandalore. Whether it was about Din or Bo-Katan, it's stuck about Mandalore. So for me, season 3 was better because of staying on topic. Season 2, okay, it was better because there was a lot more cool shit that happened.
Yeah.
But as far as being on topic, it really hurt there for me. Like season 2, I was kind of left wanting for the story of Mandalorians. Didn't
And
get that.
that's fair. My thing is, they sort of stayed on task. Yeah, let's retake Mandalore, but the actual content and what they were doing for that, I thought was so weak.
It's fair.
And like season 2, like the feeling we got, I know it's the Mandalorian and it's not even about him, but when we saw Boba Fett come and kill everyone, like that crazy feeling, we saw Luke Skywalker, it's like this is the best Star Wars we've gotten since whatever. I don't think this season had a single part that made me feel like that. Maybe Captain Pelion, but it's not that tier.
Right.
I totally.
Which I think that
agree
maybe
there.
that's unfair because like obviously them showing Luke and all these other characters that are legacy characters is going to be more exciting. But it just it dropped the ball for me a lot.
I mean, it wasn't super strong. I don't feel like it was a super strong season. But I felt like it did a good job of advancing the Mandalorian story going forward. Whereas the other 2 seasons kind of said, yeah, we're going to get to him eventually. So it felt like a season 1. It really did. It really felt like a season 1 to me because we're finally on task now.
Yeah. I still don't know where they go now. Like they retook Mandalore. I don't know what that really entails because there's not a lot of them. It's a whole planet.
Well,
And there's
with
like-
the way they set this up, they're not even going to look at that.
Yeah, it's
The
just like
Mandalorian's
okay,
on his own. He's a
yep, back to
he's
bounty
a bounty
hunting.
hunter.
That's
That other stuff, that's for another time.
It looks like they've set up for a spin-off to me. Is the way that looks to me. You know, all the Mandalorians on Mandalore. But you can't call it the
What
Mandalorian.
do they call it? The Mandalorians?
Well, I
I
guess,
can see
but
him doing
you know,
that. Add that S. I can
because-
see it.
yes, because that would make it so confusing for everybody. That'd be good
Yes.
idea. I could
Or
see
they
him
call it
doing that.
Mandalore.
That'd be
Or
okay.
what's-
Mandalore.
Yeah. What's that? What's the Jedi Mandalorian? Is it Mandalore and it's spelled differently? You know what I'm talking
Jedi-
about, like the legendary.
the Mandalore.
It's like the prophesized. Yeah, is it the Mandalore?
I
I think it
I think
is.
so.
No idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Because
something
people are like,
to
"Oh,
that.
Grogu's going to become the Mandalore because he's force sensitive."
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, well, Bo-Katan, she saw the
Well, he did
mythosaur.
tickle the mind of the mythosaur, so
Yeah,
Oh, that was a thing. Yeah.
I can't believe that thing didn't show up, but I'm kind of okay with it. I thought it was going to be like the Bendu though, and show up and
Start
stop
talking?
everyone. Yeah. Start talking.
I kind of would have dug that.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like a parallel that could have happened. But hey, I'm still excited for future Star Wars stuff. I still think it's better than the sequels.
Well,
So they're at least
That's
trying to
more
kind of fix the timeline and make it make sense.
well, I
Right.
mean, so that brings up my question. What do you think about this Dave Filoni movie that's going to be like a culmination of everything in the Mandoverse? I think they actually use that word, Mandoverse.
Right.
So Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, all that coming together to make a film.
I think there's two ways they can go, and one of them's the obvious way, and the other one's way more interesting. We have everyone teams up to fight Thrawn, right? We have Heir to the Empire, or we have everyone team up with Thrawn to fight the Grisks. That whole threat we never heard more about. Because we'd have to think like, okay, Ezra is alive and Thrawn's alive, so they had to have talked. There has to be something going on.
That is not something I would have thought to.
I'm just thinking, hey, then we get the whole Yuzan Vong war, but it's with the Grisk instead of
Right.
you know what I mean? And it's all in the outer regions, so we get to have our own timeline. And I think Ahsoka has to die, right? Because we heard her voice in 9.
I think Dave Filoni said that doesn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah.
What? It doesn't make sense why you would hear whatever.
Yeah, it's Dave Filoni.
Okay.
Exactly.
Just Filoni we
it
trust.
it doesn't mean that you did.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, okay, but everyone else was, and it very much seemed like Force ghosts. But
You're talking about a guy that at one of the celebrations I went to, he wore an Ahsoka Lives question mark T-shirt for half the
Yeah.
event. And then an Ahsoka Lives exclamation point T-shirt for the end of it. So
Right.
this guy's always messing with people. So and it's funny because you're like, oh, it could be a war with the Grisk. And Doug's over there like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
oh, because you haven't read the books.
Nope.
They literally set this thread up to be the canon Yuzan Vong.
Really?
There are people that can like completely mind control most people and like turn them to their side. It seems almost like a cult type deal. It's why Thrawn is working with the Empire in this version of Star Wars.
Doug, read the Ascendancy books.
All right.
Yes.
They're those are really good.
Yes.
Like the first 3 Thrawn books that were like set in this time, like alliances and all that crap. Those were meh. Ascendancy was really good.
Okay.
Like Ascendancy was worth reading.
Yes.
For sure.
It and also the way it kind of plays with the timeline of like when Thrawn goes to Lothal to kill Ezra and everyone, like beat them. Palpatine pretty much tells him, "Hey, I know you're working against me," or like, "Hey, I don't trust you anymore. After this, you're reporting to me." And it very much seems like Palpatine's going to kill him. So it makes it more interesting to see, because then it almost seems like, okay, Thrawn's okay with Ezra getting him to the outer regions than acting like he's dead.
I mean,
So.
you feel like Thrawn's recruiting the whole time. Like,
Yes, the whole time. Like
The whole
in
time.
the books, he's literally like, "Hey, I know you're working against them, but you should not do that because we have a bigger threat." And it's interesting. So I think it would be cool if they kind of turn their expectations of it just being, okay, Thrawn's the big bad, to being like, okay, everyone enemy of my enemy.
I'll tell you what, if they went that route, that would blow the minds of a lot of people.
well, and it would make those of us that like rooted for Thrawn in the old days, like you're reading these books and you're like, wow, I'm kind of rooting for this guy, even though he's the bad guy.
Right. Oh, totally.
It would kind of make it like, okay, I'm kind of glad I rooted for this guy.
Yeah, we get to actually root for him, and he gets to actually win and not get killed by Rook. So, hey, it'd be sick, especially if like Thrawn's ordering Sabine, and she's like just constantly giving them shit about it. I think it'd be great.
All right. So I know we're losing Hunter quick here. But the Ahsoka trailer, I want to bring that up. Did you see that?
Yes. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I've seen it 5 times.
Okay. Okay, what do you think about this trailer? Like everything that like got you tickled for Ahsoka.
It was made for me.
Okay.
The entire thing. Like if I had one statement, that trailer was made for me as a Star Wars fan. Like I love the actress for Sabine. I love the actress for Hera. Ahsoka's obviously, Rosario Dawson's grown on me a lot, I think. I like how much we saw and how much we didn't. They got to show us possible new villains or possible new gray, whatever you want to call them. We got to see the back of Thrawn's head, so we know Thrawn's in it. We got to see a hologram of Ezra older, so we know he's in it.
That being said, we got Lars Mikkelsen returning as Thrawn.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that voice, it's hard to move away from that, right? Like,
You can't. I'm so happy they didn't recast him because, like, just you guys saw Celebration, just him doing his interview, he'd say certain things that sounded exactly like Thrawn,
right.
and it gave me chills. It was like, wait, this guy's literally just Thrawn. Like, this is incredible.
Yeah, he's Thrawn. Like,
Yeah.
his voice is so calm, calculated. Like, this is what we expected out of this character. They cast it perfectly for animation. If you cast anyone else for him visually, you have to keep him as the voice.
Yeah. And it would have taken so much of the budget, I think.
Right. So might as well just keep him. Whatever it's going to look like visually. Like, we're going to accept it. He's never been seen on screen in live action. We can work with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that voice is going to be key.
I'm fully expecting like his theme to come on and we just hear his voice and it's like quiet besides that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah, so I'll be here every single episode for Ahsoka.
That was my next question. You went and jumped ahead to it.
Every single episode. 3-hour
Fantastic.
podcast for every episode.
Whoa. Let's not get crazy now.
What do you say?
3 hours for every episode.
3 hours?
No, I'm excited. I really am.
Hey, if it's that good, I'm with you. If it's not, I'm not.
Yeah. You'll hear me be very depressed if it's not good. But I think they have all the pieces that it's almost hard to not make it great.
I mean, you're right. I mean, Rosario, I've really come on board after what we saw. And we haven't seen much out of everyone else they cast. Like, we saw Zeb in The Mandalorian here.
Yeah.
Looked great.
Oh,
Sounded
totally.
great.
Using Steve Bloom was awesome.
Oh,
Yes.
again.
Fantastic move. Saw Hera. It looked great.
And she's a great actress. And Obi-Wan's wife, like, this is perfect. To be the mother of Star Wars, like, come on, that's literally the best.
Right? And then Sabine, like, I saw her the first time. I'm like, really? Long hair now? Minor complaint. But
I like it. In the
I liked
interview,
it, though.
that side eye she gave,
oh, no.
when
it
everyone
was
started
perfect.
freaking
Like,
out, it was like, this is Sabine? Yeah.
the way she talked, the way she did it, like, that was perfect. So that looks great.
Yeah, and more so for like any of the other actors I've seen, the three of them, when they were sitting there, it really seemed like they went into the lore and they learned about the characters because Filoni made them.
Which leads me to my next point. Do we see Jason?
Oh, the kid. I
The
forgot
kid.
his name was Jason.
yeah, we have to see Jason.
Probably. Do I care about him? Not that much.
Oh,
Well, I don't know.
damn.
Carrying on Kanan's legacy there, you know?
Yeah, but I want him to live like a peaceful life.
What? This is Star Wars,
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
true.
not Star Peace.
right, Star Wars. Not
Well,
to mention,
how old would he be? Like 10? Not even 10.
What?
How old would he be?
no, it's like 30?
Yeah,
right?
somewhere in there.
Yeah. You got to, because you got to figure we are
Well, no, he'd be
shortly
a
after
little
the,
younger than Luke.
yeah, but shortly after the Battle of Yavin. Okay. He's being born or whatever. Right?
Is it after the Battle of Yavin?
Maybe before. Yeah. So,
Timeline's so weird.
and then we're talking about this happening. Oh, what? So this is going to happen, what, about 5 years after Return of the Jedi?
Yes.
So
you figure Ezra and Luke are the same age.
yes,
Exactly. Yes.
Roughly.
yes.
So you figure Jason's got to be around 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Okay, so he's still a kid, but maybe he does stuff. Also, I
Right.
think it's a good chance of us seeing Luke again,
Right.
and hopefully we get to see how.
Because he's
Ahsoka
got to
met
get a
Luke.
Jedi somewhere.
Yeah. So, but yes, we will talk about it.
At least Jason's not going to bring down the temple.
Who knows? Maybe he was in the background the whole time. Maybe he was part of the Knights of Ren.
Oh, but
It could have been.
it should have been Jason who brought down the temple, right?
It should have been.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah, maybe they're just doing the whole legends. They're just doing it, and it's all going to be in the outer regions.
No, I
so
think
it doesn't matter.
I think they're just screwing with us, is what they're doing.
Yeah, that name was really it. Yeah.
I mean, that's just Dave going like, you can't have Jason. That bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's Jason.
I didn't love the character anyway, but it is funny that out of all the names, of course, they had to.
So where do we get Jaina?
Maybe Jaina is the silver white hair person with the orange saber.
What?
Maybe they'll do that to us. She probably
I think she
does.
Okay.
And it wasn't Jaina.
No, right. Not Jaina. Exactly.
Well, all right. Well, if you have anything to add, you can always email us, show@thewordsandmore.com. That's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media at The Words and More on Twitter, facebook.com/thewordsandmore. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think we've about covered it.
Uh,
Uh,
All right. Hunter, any final thoughts from you?
So many. My mind's racing.
Well, make it quick.
No. We're good.
We're good.
I'll see you
All
guys
right.
when Ahsoka comes out.
All right.
Ready
Well,
to go.
Well, thank you again for joining us, Hunter. We will look forward to seeing you when Ahsoka comes out. And we will talk next week.